Hi YouTube, this is Randomer379 again, and this is my second part of my Pontus Chronicles, the Europa Barbarorum. Here I'm turning on the background script. Anyway, you can see my 3 cities, and the two cities that I newly conquered, Marzaka and Ankara. And you can see that I've got positive incomes in all my cities now, which is good because I'll be going out of negative Minai. And you can see my troops in all my cities. I'm going to disband some of the troops in Ankara, but I don't think you'll see that. I'm going to have to cut off a lot of this video because, yeah, it's really long and I'm not really doing much in this video. I'm just consolidating my cities and making sure they all have good incomes and things like that. Also building up an army, and I'm building up this army to take Antioch, which is the Seleucid capital. Yeah, so as I said, I'm going to skip a bit now, and you can see it's 271 BC in the bottom right corner, so I'm going to skip ahead to 268 BC. So that's going to be around 11 turns, so quite a long time. Yeah, you can see I have a lot more Minai now, and my cities have more income, and I've also built things. And you can see 2 little Seleucid armies popped up. They weren't very strong, so I wasn't too worried about them. But I didn't have many troops myself, but I still took care of them eventually. So even though it doesn't look like I've done much since 271 BC, I've actually been building up barracks and some mines and things. That way I can get a good army going. And as I said before, I'm going to get this army to attack Antioch, which is going to give me really good income. So I'm going to go and attack this little army. I'll send these 2 guys over because I don't want to ruin the public disorder in Ankara. So I'm just going to show you the results screen. It's a pretty boring battle. It's a clear victory. I didn't lose any men because my slingers and my phalanx. And then next battle, this one's harder. The balance isn't in my favour, so I was a bit worried. So I had 2 skirmishes and my general's cav, and he had, I think, 2 units of pelt. But you can see I won, but I still lost a lot of troops. You can see which troops I lost in the next screen. Anyway, I lost lots of troops because there were skirmish units mostly, so there were bad quality troops and good quality troops. Anyway, in the meantime, my faction leader died, and now I'm on 266 BC, and I have less Minai. That's because I've trained an army now. And I built quite a big army, it's probably too big. And yeah, you can see I have 5 phalanx units, Hellenic native phalanx. And yeah, they're pretty good phalanx units. They're not, well, for phalanx units they're not very good, but I just like phalanx units. And 1 unit slingers, and I have 2 Galatian swordsmen, short swordsmen, which are to protect my flanks. And I have 3 family members, and they have that's a cavalry bodyguard unit. It's heavy cavalry, they're really good. So as you can see, I have 3 family members, which is quite a lot for an army, but I just like their bodyguard units. And you can see this is my commander, and he is my faction leader, and he has a lot of troops in his bodyguard unit, 117 troops. Yeah, so I probably shouldn't have built an army this big just to attack a city with just a garrison of 3 right now. You can see the town's revolting now. I want to conquer. And you can see I'm going to put this army to a different use soon. And yeah, so I'm going to, the next turn I'm going to combine my armies.
Move out.
And I'm going to move them closer to Antioch.
March.
You can see here the Egyptian town, and they have a lot of troops. And yeah, so the surprise is, this is going to be next turn, I'm going to go and attack this Egyptian town. And Egyptians are a strong faction, so this is going to be quite hard. I'm going to try and get peace with them soon.
Besieging settlement, sir.
Anyway, you can see all these notices came up talking about alliances broken. And I thought all these factions had broken alliances with me. You'll soon find out that actually all the factions that I allied with broke their alliances with the Egyptians. Yep, so I'm gonna go end the turn again. See, this is the next turn. You can see I'm losing some traits, which is just the well supplied traits, which implies that my guys haven't been in the city soon. I built mines and Mazaka, which is gonna give me great income. And I'm moving my diplomat over. This was the guy who gave me all those alliances with factions like Carthage and the Greeks, the Koinon Helenon. Yeah, so you can see more little Seleucid armies popped up, and they were getting quite annoying, especially when I didn't have many troops in my cities. And yeah, you can see that one had 3 units, and this one only has 1 unit. So they're not very strong, but they're still annoying. You can see I'm going to go and attack this with my 2 generals units, bodyguard units, and my 1 skirmisher unit. You can see the balance is way out of my favour, but I can use cavalry pretty well, so, and it is the AI, so they're not very good, so I should be able to beat them. You can see that there are 2 units, the Jewish spearmen and the Hellenic native phalanx. So you can see I'm bringing my army out. I brought them out of the gates. You can see I absorbed his pillar or javelins, and then I basically isolated his 1 infantry unit and then surrounded it. And I did that for both of the Jewish spearmen, and I just surrounded his last unit of phalanx here. And you can see his phalanx here is taunting me by going in and out of the phalanx mode. The AI seems to be having a lot of fun here. Anyway, I had an heroic victory, and yeah, so I was sort of expecting that because it's just the AI and it isn't really that smart. Anyway, so I'm just looking at my messages, and you can see the Carthaginians declared war on their previous allies, the Egyptians. I think that's my fault because I declared war on the Egyptians, and with this little army here. Well, not little, it's quite big, quite strong as well. Anyway, you can see it's 2 turns to surrender, and I'm just going to wait it out because I won't survive so well. I'll lose a lot more troops if I go and attack them directly. Anyway, you can see I built a diplomat to try and get peace with the Egyptians, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that because I don't think they're pretty happy. I think they're not happy with me right now. So I'll end the turn again. And this is the next turn. You can see I'm going to move my diplomat over. He's going to go over and talk to the Egyptians. He's going to beg for peace and mercy once I've taken Tarsus. But I'm not going to get him to do that yet. I'll just wait till I take Tarsus and then I'll beg for peace and mercy. So just take something from them and then I'll ask for peace. I'm not sure they'll agree to that. Anyway, so they attacked, they rode out, walked out, ran out, whatever you want to say, and this is their army. They had some native spearmen, Hellenic skirmishers, Hellenic skirmisher cavalry, some slingers, Hellenic medium phalanx, I think that's the best unit, and some Hellenic heavy skirmishers. So not really such a good army, but still a lot of troops. You can see the balance is about equal. So this is how I was forced to start by the AI. So this, I didn't choose this, and then I made my own formation with my phalanx in front and my swordsman on the side, and then I used hammer and anvil tactics to destroy his army, which wasn't very hard because it's just the AI. You can see his generals running away, which provided a morale shock. So basically all his troops routed, but then they regrouped in the town square, and I rode my cavalry in through the gates because they were open for the routing troops, and then I basically killed them at the town square with my cavalry. So you can see it was a clear victory. Result screen here. Capture. And I'm going to occupy the city. So this is the end. This is going to be the end of my video. See, I built my occupation building. I'm going to build a tight one for government because I can in my homeland. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it. And this was my 2nd video for my Pontus Chronicles. And the 3rd one's going to be coming up soon. And I'm going to be doing a bit more taking of cities in that one. So stay tuned.